The following is a live sports presentation of Glycod. GLICOD.com.
Glycod's coverage of Oldham High School's basketball starts now.
And a pleasant good afternoon from Rupp Arena at Central Bank Center. Sweet 16 quarterfinal Friday as the South Oldham Dragons will take on the Jeffersontown Chargers. Welcome back to Lexington. I'm Chris Labar alongside former Oldham County boys basketball coach Gary Forrest, and South Oldham trying to make history this afternoon.
Very much so. Coach Simpson been to the first round a few times, but they're in uncharted waters as they speak today.
Dragons have been to one quarterfinal before today. That was back in 2016. They lost that game to South Laurel. But let's backtrack 48 hours in the Dragons' big win over Danville Christian, 67-44, and really the talk of the first day of this tournament.
Well, a lot of people that hadn't seen South Oldham maybe had read a little bit about them, but did not really comprehend the importance of the three-point shot for the Dragons. Coach Simpson been there a few years, implemented it, one of the first in the state at the high school level to really push in all his chips on shooting the three, and it certainly showed fruition the other day.
South Oldham 14 of 33 made threes in that game. They outscored Danville Christian in the second quarter 26-7, and doing it in a variety of different shooters.
Very much so, and that in itself tells us one of the things we talked about all season is the fact that they really did a good job of spreading it around, if you will. If you try to take away one, there's about three others on the floor at the same time you got to guard as well.
The first game has just gone to conclusion. Bowling Green in overtime defeats Ashland Paul Blazer 80-74. The Purples trailed by 11 in the second quarter, came back to win that game, so they will await the winner of today's South versus J-Town. And speaking of the Chargers, Gary, 27-6, and I think clearly a surprise to still be playing this late in the season.
Well, I think a lot of people maybe did not understand the fact that this was a very solid J-Town team. Maybe one thing that they missed was a dominant big man, and late in the season, that person emerged.
That is a storyline worth telling. Cameron McDaniels, whom Gary references, a 6'4 senior. He played for the Chargers all of last year, transferred to Huntington Prep to start this season. He became eligible back at J-Town. This will be his 11th game, and he is clearly a difference maker.
He very much is. You know, a lot of people say, well, how can you go and play somewhere else and then came back? Well, he did not play against high school competition, and that was the legal loophole that allowed him to come back to J-Town and be eligible before the season ended. He played for a prep team.
So McDaniels, he's got a verbal offer from Florida Atlantic, a Florida A&M in the MEAC. He's a 22.7 rebound per night scorer. But you look at the size in South Oldham, they fared quite well against size on Wednesday.
Well, very much so. Different type of size and athleticism that J-Town presents. Yes, they do have some size, but it's the athleticism in general. They're quick. They get up and down the floor. This is a bunch that, like South Oldham, they've been playing together for a few years, so they know one another.
We will have live basketball for you probably about 1:40 or so. They're still going through the transition phase between Game 1 and Game 2, so much more pregame straight ahead. We will have both head coaches, some conversations with both head coaches. And up next, it's Steve Simpson, his 25th season, and he caught up with Gary Forrest earlier this week. You'll hear that right after this on Glycod.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard. Do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in, like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right, Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
This edition of Coach's Comments is brought to you by Anderson Sales and Service in Crestwood, making your life easier with quality products and quality service. Find out more at andersonsales.com.
This is Gary Forrest for Glycon.com. Coach Steve Simpson, round number 2 against J-Town from Louisville.
You know, it was just, it's just been just a great trip so far. Our administration has done a great job. Joe Ricciardi, this is the first time him going, and he's really stepped up and did a really good job getting things organized for us down here. And so I appreciate that. And then practiced at Transy a couple times and then came in here and shot the ball well. So far, so good.
Steve, I think you really surprised a lot of people here at Rupp that maybe had heard about the successes that you guys have used through the three-point shot.
Yeah, they, I think we hit 5 in a row at one point, and it was funny. There was a dead ball or something. There was less than a minute to play, and one of our newer assistants said, well, we're just going to get it and hold for one. And Franco and myself and Coach Durham said, no, absolutely not. We hit 2 more threes after that going into halftime. So that worked out. Sometimes you do that, and you miss 2, and all of a sudden they get the momentum. So I thought our kids have been the most focused they've been in practice, really, the last couple of weeks. They have really come around, much more attentive to the scouting reports than at points during the season. So they have done a great job allowing our coaches to take our information and them retaining it and applying it during the games.
Steve, a lot of people aren't aware of the fact that just last week in the regional semis, you guys made 17 in a game. So it's not something that, is by fluke by any means, and it's a big part of your offense.
I told them last night at the thing, kids are not going to do defensive slides in their driveway, but they will go home and shoot threes. They'll come to the gym early and shoot threes. They'll go to other people's gyms and shoot threes. And so when other people are doing shell drill, we're shooting threes. And so we're big on muscle memory, and that's really the only way you can get it.
Steve, it's a plus. You're playing a formidable opponent in J-Town, very athletic, and some people think maybe they beat the #1 ranked team in the state. Maybe catch them looking ahead?
Well, don't know about that, but I do know Danville Christian's a good rebounding team. J-Town is a great rebounding team. I mean, we will have to do a tremendous job trying to keep those athletes off the board. They play man and 2-3, kind of we haven't seen a man defense since we played Oldham in the district tournament. So kind of a little different preparation. Everybody else we've played has been zone. So we're looking forward to it. Hopefully we can just come in, our kids play hard, and just give ourselves the best opportunity here in Rupp Arena.
Well, you heard from Coach Steve Simpson. The South Oldham Dragons take on the J-Town Chargers in round number 2 of the Kentucky Boys State Tournament. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Watterson Trail in Louisville.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware at 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life. Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash. Proud supporters of Oldham County High School's athletics. Robin Lawson and Financial Solutions Incorporated have been recognized over a dozen times as Oldham County's best financial planner. Robin and his team provide individuals and small businesses the tools needed to achieve their financial goals, because they care not just about the result, but also the process. Visit their office in LaGrange at 309 West Jefferson Street or learn more online at oldhamfinancial.com. Financial Solutions Incorporated. Clarity for your financial future.
Blinds Direct, not just blinds. Blinds Direct, not just blinds.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Lycon.
Today's broadcast is authorized by the Kentucky High School Athletic Association for the private use of our audience. The use of pictures, video, and audio without the express written permission of the KHSAA is prohibited. Welcome back to Rupp Arena at Central Bank Center. They have still not started the 30-minute countdown, so we're looking possibly maybe about 1:45 or so before we have live basketball, and both these teams getting, Gary, a little more extra prep time.
Well, I think so, and as we've gone through the first round, all that does is add a little bit more tension on the kids. They're ready to play right now.
Bowling Green a winner again, preceding us going on the air in overtime, 80-74 over Ashland Paul Blazer, hence the slight delay. So the winner of this game will get Bowling Green tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. in semifinal number 1. Still to come tonight in the third and fourth quarterfinal, it's North Laurel and Montgomery County at 6 o'clock, and Great Crossing with Cooper following at 8:30. Interesting, Gary, while Coach Simpson's interview was airing, they recognized 8 to 12 really ambassadors of high school basketball, and one of whom was your good friend Bobby Simpson, recognized for a lifetime of work inside this game.
Well, can't say enough for Coach Simpson. He's been around, it seems like, forever at a couple of different schools. He coached at Oldham. He coached at Carroll County in the region. In his waning days of coaching, he was down at South Oldham under Coach Simpson for, it seems like, a decade. And just last couple years, he was helping out at Oldham. This has really been his first year out of basketball coaching. And, he really brought a lot to our community. Just really, really a great person and a great kids person.
Daniel Brown, head coach of Henry Clay, his 25th season just wrapped up. He was recognized as well. So, Gary, you come back to this tournament every year, and you're always going to see just a tremendous movement amongst the coaches and all the recognitions that take place.
Very much so. We had that discussion up in the stands the other day about maybe a lot of times we don't see the coaches that were in the game for a long time. In today's world, they find other things to do. But for those that stuck around, they've been great role models. And Coach Simpson, once again, really fits that category. And they pass it on to this younger generation of coaches.
So Steve Simpson, let's talk about, for the folks maybe just joining us for the first or second time that don't know about the program at South Oldham and what he's built. It's been founded on the three-point shot. Walk us through, because you're a historian in terms of how has he built such sustained success due to that shot?
Well, Steve bought in early on the three-point shot. And when a lot of coaches were still emphasizing you got to have inside play, you have to have balance of both inside and outside, Coach Simpson accepted the role, and it was a novel approach. Not a lot of people did it because it was the unknowns really hadn't been looked at. The results, now that they've been, they implemented the three a few years back, we're starting to look at statistics, and you see the value of having kids that shoot it. It used to be if you were a 6'5" kid, you played down on the block. That's what the good Lord gave you that size for. It doesn't surprise us today to see 6'8" kids playing outside the arc. And it's prevalent all throughout college and the professional level. And Coach Simpson's one of those guys, he would go to clinics, he would pick people's brains, he would say, what are some of the drills that you guys do? And he's had time to refurbish those ideas, tweak them a little bit, if you will. One of the novel things he does for people out there that aren't aware of, they've got a machine nowadays called the gun. And you load it with basketballs. It has big racks, so if you miss a shot, it will generally fall back into the machine. So all you have to do is catch it when it feeds it to you and shoot it. And they line them up outside the three-point line. And Coach Simpson, they simply say, all right, guys, the gym is open at 7 in the morning. And if you want to come in and shoot on the gun, and, he has 5-6 kids every morning comes in, and they get up 100 or maybe even more so shots on this gun. And it allows you to shoot in different spots, on the move, standing and catch, so you can tweak it however you wish. And his kids have been pretty proficient about shooting the three. They bought in, they see the value. It isn't now just maybe every team had one shooter. He's got a team where he's got about 8 kids that shoot it really, really well because of the time they put in. They bought in.
And for players, it has to be a fun style to play. That's another reason for the sustained success, because kids love to play that style.
Very much so, If you can catch it and shoot it, and if you work on it, you can get better along that line. It used to be, well, if you're a big kid, but maybe you were thin, you couldn't battle inside. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we see big kids that are outside shooting it. And, I was one of those ones, shook my head and said, I'll go with the percentage shot. But Coach Simpson will tell you, hey, you check those stats in the end. And what it also does, if you have a deficit you're used to shooting a lot of those shots. It's not something like we got to rely on a shot that we don't do very often. His kids are. So they'll shoot it from the get-go, from the beginning till the end.
Still to come before tip-off, an inside look on both these teams. But up next, comments from 8th-year Jeffersontown head coach Richard Duncan. That's straight ahead when we come back to Lex on Glycod.
Not just flies. Line to wrecked, not just flies.
Check it. Ooh.
Need a better battery? Get an Interstate battery. Outrageously dependable.
Should have had an Interstate.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
Glycod on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Glycod.
Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
The Jeffersontown times of the last 4 years, they've been here last time in the mid-90s. How did that help you, think of your guys being in the situations?
I think my experience, I wasn't so anxious. My first year down here, man, I was real anxious. I tried to put a whole lot in. Cam was with me the first time, man. We was in the gym 24/7 trying to figure it out. And then last year, I felt like we had a good mix, and then I just wanted them to come in and relax. So that was the main thing. I know that these guys can play, and I don't want them to worry about the X's and O's. And we didn't even start prepping for St. X till probably like 2-3 days ago. We worried about ourselves. I didn't want them stressing about that.
You all were down 10 in the third quarter. When did you feel like the turning point was when you were getting back in the game?
Well, we picked up our defensive pressure, and it was during the timeout. I felt like they was getting a little tired, and I felt like we can create some turnovers. And we got a couple of key steals right there towards the end of the third quarter, and I was like, yeah, I feel really good about this right now. So we just kept extending our pressure, just try to wear on them a little bit mentally, more than physically. It's more mental at that point because of the stress of the game. I just felt like we could take advantage of it.
Coach, just kind of talk us through your emotions right now, after a big win like this, and the way that it happened as well with applying the pressure defense and winning a game that for 2.5, almost 3 quarters, it looked like you guys were out of it.
Yeah, you're trying to make me emotional, man. Man. No, it means a lot, man. I feel really, really good about this, man, because we faced adversity and we didn't run from it. We stepped up to the challenge. St. X is a heck of a team, man. They really are. And it was during the time that I told my team, I was like, they're feeling game pressure. They're feeling it. So I just wanted to keep extending and keep extending. They haven't played against a lot of teams that was able to keep it close around the city. They put some pretty good numbers up on people, and them scores are real lopsided. So I felt like if we could just keep it close, create a couple of turnovers in them crucial moments, we'd be all right. So I feel good, man. I really do.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware, 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
If a drunk driver hurts or kills someone, the bar or restaurant that overserved that person is jointly responsible. I'm attorney John D. Camillus, and Rob and I hold restaurants and bars accountable. Let me speak directly to bar managers and bartenders. Be a frontline hero. Have the courage to cut someone off. If you've been in an accident with a drunk driver, call us. Our reputation is our trademark.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Waterson Trail in Louisville.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard. Do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
When you bundle home and auto, life can be easier. You choose coverage that makes sense for you, at a price that's right for you, and a local State Farm agent who's there for you.
Call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Oldham County today.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Lycon.
Welcome back to Lexington. Chris LaBar back live with former Oldham County boys basketball coach Gary Forrest. Our producer this afternoon is Steve Bird. And this Chargers team, they're very seasoned here. They've been here now 3 of the last 4 years, and that speaks very highly of a program out of the 6th region, Gary.
That's a great point, Chris. You know, anytime you're there for that first time, teams usually don't fare well because of all the newbie things that you go through with. And so these guys, if they've been there, they're not awed by that fact. Most of them got in some minutes. You know, people talk about, well, they got this new player back, but this kid played with them through those earlier years too. So really, they kind of rejoined themselves.
Chargers have been here now 9 times. They've got the one state championship back in 2006. Dominic Tilford, of all folks, leading J-Town to that win. As for this batch, we talked about Cameron McDaniels and 22.7 rebound averages, but they also have 3 other players flirting around double figures, and then Davion Harrison chips in 17 out of the backcourt.
Well, very much so. You look at their stats, and they almost have 5 guys because they got a couple up around 8 and 9 points. So, as a lot of people mentioned, a strong point for South Oldham, their balance. J-Town has it as well.
Chargers 1-1 versus the tournament field, as are the Dragons. Of course, the J-Town win over St. X on Wednesday. They did lose by 1 point to North Laurel. In terms of the Chargers makeup, you know, how difficult is it for a coach to bring a player back in and get the chemistry okay?
Well, once again, having them been, he didn't leave because of any particular discipline reason or bad feelings reason. I think they accepted him back with open arms because they realized this gives us another tool for the war chest, so to speak. And that tool is size, and he shoots the ball well. This wasn't an average or below average team without him this year. They were still a very good team. You know, I saw him play a couple of times, and with this kid, he just brings another bullet, if you will, for the gun.
And both these teams, and really not coincidental to still be playing this late in the year, that they've had success in tight games, right? South Oldham is 4-0 in games decided by 3 points or less. And you look at J-Town, this is a team only 1 loss in a tight game this year.
Well, once again, they're teams that don't beat themselves. You know, senior-oriented teams, that's how they play, and that's another notch for them.
Our Blinds direct inside look, as well as Gary's keys to the game on the other side of this timeout. We're about a 1:45 tip-off in Game 2. It's J-Town and South Oldham. Thanks for joining us live on Glycod.
Not just blinds. Blinds direct, not just blinds.
Check it. Ooh. Oh, no.
Need a better battery? Get an Interstate battery. Outrageously dependable.
Should have had an Interstate.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
Glycon on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Glycon.
Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycon.
An inside look on today's matchup is presented by Blinds Direct. Looking for the best in-home decor? At Blinds Direct, they offer custom blinds, wallpaper, and more. Proudly serving Louisville for over 30 years. Visit blindsdirect.com for the area's best selection. And Gary, we kind of insinuated a little about these keys to the game for both these teams, but for J-Town, what's a glimpse about their team?
Well, I think the thing that people will be most surprised about is how they share the ball. Both offensively and defensively, they share a common goal. They know what one another will try to do defensively. So they've gotten here not because of one player. You know, it's a group effort both on offense and defense. They've got to control the boards. That's got them here as well. Okay, must locate for South Oldham their shooters. And that in itself, they'll have their hands full. So I like to think their game strategy is probably going to play. They're going to play South Oldham outside in. Crowd the good shooters, force them to put it on the floor. If you're going to beat South, that's something that you're going to have to do very well. So they guard inside and out. If they can do that, and they can limit South to, let's say, less than 10 made threes, then offensively, they will have done a good job against South Oldham.
You heard Coach Duncan talk about the first time they came here, at least he brought them here, that they were so focused on everybody else and maybe not on themselves. After they saw South Oldham put on that shooting exhibition on Wednesday, you know, what's their mentality? Are they solely focused on South, or are they still taking ownership on what they do well?
Well, as any coach, you overplan when you get to this level of the stage, and he learned that after his first year. So the old adage, keep it simple, stupid. They'll try to make things very easy for his team. Pick two or three things they want to try to do well against South Oldham, and that will be limit their good looks at threes.
And for South Oldham, for teams that don't play them much, I mean, the style, it's not real customary, so it seems like in many matchups against unfamiliar teams, South does have an advantage.
We saw it against Danville Christian, where South actually got the ball inside, wide open shots on the blocks, and only to turn and fan it back out to the corners. Another thing people aren't aware of, because South shoots lots of threes, the ball will kick out further. And South will, in many cases, maybe be a smaller team than their opponent, but the ball will kick out further, giving them more opportunities for three-point shots. The best thing to shoot threes on are on the break and on offensive rebounds when you fan it back out.
Back to Wednesday's win for just another second for South Oldham. Colton Wuchterl, another guy coming off the bench, supplying firepower. He has 13 points. It's a moving target with what you choose to do against them on defense.
It really is, Chris, which brings us to the other big thing. South has had great support off their bench. They've got three guys since the beginning of the regional tournament have come in off the bench, and between those three guys, they're averaging 18 points a game. So that's found money. And Wuchterl being one, and
Drew Campbell's played well, too.
Drew Campbell, a sometimes starter, has come in and shot it well. And the third of the monster off the bench, if you will, is not the team's leading scorer, but it's his younger sophomore brother.
Adrian Miles. Starting lineups in live basketball coming up 5 minutes ahead of tip-off. Quarterfinal 2 is J-Town and South Oldham live on Glycod. We'll be right back.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware, 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
Time matters, and when you need a fast and easy car wash, try Clementine's. Family owned and open 24 hours a day. Clementine's is a touchless wash that can make your car look as good as new in as little as 3 minutes. Visit them at Kroger Fuel Center at 2010 Highway 53 in LaGrange. Clementine's, a proud supporter of high school athletics and juiced by Thomas Car Wash.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in. Like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right, Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
From Glycod, it's Oldham High School's basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you by Oldham County Solid Waste Management, featuring the Waste Wizard search engine. Anderson's Sales and Service, a top choice for homeowners and lawn professionals. Kinzer & Kinzer, delivering clean, comfortable air. State Farm Insurance Agent Leslie Gilly. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. German American Bank, serving our community since 1910. LaGrange Service Center. Mortensen Family Dental. Operation Parent. And Financial Solutions Incorporated. Now courtside for all the action of Oldham High School's basketball on Glycod.
Today's starting lineups are brought to you by Mortensen Family Dental. A healthy smile means a healthier you. Visit mortensendental.com to locate an office near you. The starters for J-Town. They are led in scoring by the guy on your far right, Cameron McDaniels. He's a 6'4 senior, averaging 22 points and 7 rebounds. His 11th game played this year after transferring in late from Huntington Prep. He'll be joined by Davion Harrison, who is the second leading scorer at 17 a game. Davion, a 5'9 junior. Prince Conplay is 6'2 senior, 16 points per night, all 6th region. Then LaRon Westmoreland, a 6'1 sophomore, and Demir Clark, a 6'1 junior. Westmoreland averages 9. Clark will contribute 8 points. Starting lineups coming up for the South Oldham unit. Again, the identical starters to what we've seen much of this season, highlighted at least scoring-wise by Julian Miles, all 8th region. Julian leading South Oldham in scoring at 22 points per game, and also now the all-time leading scorer in Dragon history with 2080 as he surpassed Luke Morrison on his performance on Wednesday night. Jake Fithian, 6' senior, averaging 13 points. William Burnside and Brooks B, a pair of rugged senior forwards. Burnside at 10, B at 9. And then Xander Searcy starts, a 5'10 junior. And Gary, it was interesting to see the tweet after the game on Wednesday because we were not aware of Miles surpassing Luke Morrison to become the all-time leading scorer in Dragons history.
Well, Coach Simpson, having been there for a while, you know, there's team accolades and individuals. First he shares with the team and then with the individuals. So Miles is in pretty good company. Brad Kofer, and then now Miles is added to that list.
And Luke Morrison, what a fantastic player he was, finishing up in 2020. This is a series that certainly the first ever Sweet 16 matchup between these two teams, but they're familiar with one another, with J-Town winning 13 of the previous 20 matchups. Now, what do you look for here in the early segment of this game?
Well, it's kind of like boxers in the ring. You kind of feel one another out in those early minutes, and you look to make sure that if you're South Oldham, that you don't get over athleticism by, if you will, J-Town. And for J-Town, you look to see if they're playing as a unit. Those will be the things we look for. Obviously, everybody's looking to see, can this South Oldham group explode from the threes once again? And they showed the other night the lights didn't bother them when they made 14. And as we mentioned just a week and a half ago, they made 17 in a game. So big part to their offensive flow is, can they make those threes?
Benson, Hargrove, Ryan, the three officials. South Oldham, the home team, same uniforms as Wednesday, home white with green numerals and white trim. J-Town road uniforms, black tops, black bottoms with baby blue numerals, and then maroon trim outside those numerals, and maroon down each respective shoulder and pant leg as well. So glad you joined us, and thank you for joining us this afternoon on Glycod. Dragons seeking their first ever state semifinal appearance, and J-Town trying to get back there for the second time in their school history. And here we go, tap controlled by J-Town, and the Chargers traverse right to left.
So a little 2-3 action by South Oldham defensively, and they'll play games with their outside people. Sometimes they'll be 2 out front. Sometimes they'll guard the post with the offside top defender.
There's Davion Harrison. Middle portion of the floor. McDaniels at the elbow. Faces on Burnside. The ball poked away. McDaniels gets it back. Turnaround shot is off. But J-Town attacking the backboard. That's LaRon Westmoreland, and the game's first foul is on South Oldham.
Well, J-Town misses the first mid-range jumper only to get the offensive rebound and get fouled. So that's, once again, if you're South, you've got to keep them one shot and out.
Brooksby called for the foul. J-Town to inbound underneath. 7:26 in this opening quarter. There's Westmoreland far sideline now. He's going to set a screen, freeing McDaniels short on a 3, and the long rebound trickled out to Harrison, and he'll shoot from the foul line. That's long, and finally, Searcy grabs the South rebound. Fithian into forecourt. He'll apply the break in front of the Chargers bench. And Searcy around in the corner to B. Backdoor cut, Julian Miles. Miles sealed off. Reverse layup is in.
Miles using the rim to protect his shot. So the first shot for South, not a 3, but an inside shot.
Here's Prince Conplay. McDaniels roaming baseline, lays it up. He's 0 for his first 3. Grabbed the rebound and put it back in.
Well, once again, winning the battle of the boards early. 5 rebounds already for J-Town.
Tied at 2, 90 seconds elapsed. Dragons in the half court. Miles a deep 3 well long. In the backside, a lasso by Cameron McDaniels of J-Town as McDaniels belt high pass to Conplay. Conplay baseline. Arcs it in the corner for a Demir Clark 3. That's long. And B snares the South rebound. Ahead now Jake Fithian as we near the 6-minute mark of a tied first quarter.
Coach Simpson imploring his team, push it, try not to be stagnant on the offensive end.
There's Burnside driving in, going to challenge McDaniels, and Burnside falls down and loses the football, rather the basketball as well, so it's out to J-Town.
Burnside, they've got to get bigger efforts from Burnside and B in this game if they're going to stay in it. That means they're going to have to do the workmanship on the boards.
Prince Conplay up top for J-Town. 5:45 first quarter. Harrison, a right corner 3 is off, and B, great seal off for the South Oldham rebound. And now Jake Fithian as Fithian inches it to Xander Searcy. Belt high pass. Burnside, now Fithian up top. Miles, high left with Conplay challenging him. Fithian drove to the basket. The pass deflected and stolen, and here comes McDaniels weeding his way up the floor. Back to Harrison. McDaniels high left, a deep 3, and it's in.
Really trying to get McDaniels off the schneid early in their last game. He didn't score early, so I think they're trying to get him going. He's a lot of shots by him early.
Backdoor cut, Miles. Miles lays it in with the left after the Fithian assist.
Well, once again, South Oldham maybe surprising people a little bit. You know, they're trying to establish the inside game, which will free up their 3 shooters.
McDaniels short on that. High right 3, and it's going to catapult out of bounds off the baseline. South Oldham basketball, so Cameron and McDaniels 2 of 6 early from the floor.
Already 8 shots on goal by J-Town and only 5 by South.
Here comes Searcy into forecourt. Fithian off a screen, a corner 3 short. Burnside got the rebound, missed a bunny as he put it up long, and the rebound brought down by Harrison of Jeffersontown. As Harrison into forecourt, challenged now by Jake Fithian. There's McDaniels far sideline as Searcy going to shadow him. McDaniels inches it in the corner to Prince Conplay, and he's fouled hard by Miles on the baseline jumper.
Miles called for his first. Cannot afford it for him to get into foul trouble, but what you don't want to do is slap down at the ball, which he was guilty of, and talking to the official now, but that's not going to change it.
Prince Conplay, 65% free throw shooter for 2, and he steers that one long. Julian picked up 2 early fouls on Wednesday, was able to play with those 2 fouls for the balance of the game.
Against this team, though, that might be a little more difficult because they're actively going to take it to the rack.
And Conplay connecting on one of two. Chargers now lead 6-4.
Token pressure by J-Town.
Here comes Searcy behind the back as he'll inch it across to Julian Miles as the defenders switch. Miles pausing elbow. Now Fithian high left on that Rupp Arena blue print. Fithian draws it underneath. There's Burnside. Corner three. Long. And the rebound snuffed out by Davion Harrison of J-Town with 3:40 in this first quarter. There's Demir Clark, and he caught the ball but stepped on the near sideline. So an unforced turnover occurring right in front of the Dragons bench. Now Brooks B will inbound for South.
Interesting, the note playing on the larger college floor, they actually have a little more room on the sideline, but Clark used more than they were allowed.
Here comes Searcy being ridden up the floor. Backdoor cut. Miles with a catch in the corner. That's Brooks B for a corner three. That's off. And the rebound to Cameron McDaniels of J-Town. Shovel pass across to Conplay. Now Harrison near sideline. Conplay, a three up top, and it's in. Conplay with 4, and J-Town has made 2 early threes to lead 9-4. Fithian across to Julian Miles, a 3 up top. It's out, but he's fouled on the closeout as that ball nearly went in and then popped out. And Davion Harrison with a foul. That's going to be a 3-shot free throw.
Well, you know, as coaches will tell you, the cardinal rule in basketball, don't foul a jump shooter, and particularly don't foul a three-point shooter. But I think J-Town has had it drum in on, get up on the shooters, particularly Miles, and so here go the line to shoot 3.
Immediate timeout. Chargers on top of South Oldham, 9-4 with 2:54 in the first. South 3 free throws when we come back on Glycod.
If a drunk driver hurts or kills someone, the bar or restaurant that overserved that person is jointly responsible. I'm attorney John D. Camillus, and Rob and I hold restaurants and bars accountable. Let me speak directly to bar managers and bartenders. Be a frontline hero. Have the courage to cut someone off. If you've been in an accident with a drunk driver, call us. Our reputation is our trademark.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by the law offices of D. Camillus and Mattingly in Louisville. Our reputation is our trademark.
Julian Miles with 3 free throws when we return to live action. 2:54 in this first quarter. J-Town, really a volume of shots early, one of the key differences.
Well, what J-Town's trying to do is get McDaniels off the mark early, and quite frankly, it looks like he could get anything he wanted inside, and if I'm Coach Simpson, I'm happy that he continues to shoot from the outside. And then when you look at South Oldham, 0 for 4 from the three-point range so far.
Colton Wuchterl's going to check in for South. Again, he played so well Wednesday versus Danville Christian. 13 points off the bench. He's going to check in.
Well, Wuchterl, one of those 3 we mentioned, got to get some points and positive things from your first 3 bench guys, and they've been great so far through the region and this first game. So for South to be successful, got to make some threes, got to get help off their bench.
Drew Campbell has checked in as well as Julian Miles with the return to play will steer up 3 free throws. Julian, 80% foul shooter, but leaves that short. So Miles with 2 more as the Dragons down 5 early with 5 minutes gone by. Now Miles sinks the second of 3 free throws. And the third free throw is long. And the rebound occupied by Cameron McDaniels of J-Town. So South leaving a couple of points on the board. McDaniels arcs it underneath. There's Westmoreland back out for a 3. And it's in for Prince Conplay.
Conplay 2 for 2 on the threes tonight, an all-region player.
Colton Wuchterl long with that 3 as it ricochets off the glass in the Chargers. It's 1 and done for South as J-Town out with a rebound. Harrison, corner three, that swirls out, and South brings the rebound down with Julian Miles. And 2:24 in this opening quarter. There's Jake Fithian. Fithian driving in and poked away and stolen as J-Town with numbers. That's Demir Clark, and he plays it with the left. And a South Oldham timeout. J-Town 14, South Oldham 5, 2:11 in the first quarter, and we're back right after this.
You cannot depend on Oliver's parallel parking.
Hey, you got it, man!
But you can always depend on his car starting because he has an Interstate battery. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Dragons to inbound 94 feet with just 2:11 now in this first quarter. As J-Town opening up a 9-point lead. Jake Fithian will handle it high left for South. Now Drew Campbell floats to Wuchterl, hands to Julian Miles. Miles spins in, missed it with a left. Expecting contact, and J-Town reels out the rebound. There's Davion Harrison. Harrison double teamed, far sideline, LaRon Westmoreland. Westmoreland pauses in the lane. Follow off the mark, and a foul going the other way on J-Town as the Chargers miss two right inside the halo, if you will, and it's going to be a foul on the Chargers.
Well, you know, Chris, if you're Coach Simpson, you know, right now you're just looking at points. Only 5 early points. They've not shot the ball well. 0 for 5 from the 3-point range.
1:38 now in this first quarter. There's Drew Campbell, left sideline. Now Campbell puts it on the floor. Finds Brooks B, baseline, over to Julian Miles up top. Miles trying to seek some offense, and a Charger foul underneath. It's going to be whistled on Davion Glenn that just checked in the game. Third J-Town foul is South to nudge it in underneath. There's Jake Fithian around the corner. Brooks B flings a three. There it is! Much needed three for South. There's Demir Clark coming up the floor. And now McDaniels. He'll handle against two Dragons. McDaniels threw it away, tried to feed the post. Miles intercepts. Julian across the timeline with 1 minute. Corner three, Wuchterl. Yes!
Well, once again, they make them in groups. So back-to-back threes finally get South off the snidge, if you will. 2 for 7 so far on the threes.
South Oldham foul coming up the floor. That's going to be their third team foul. As Brooksby hit the first three, and then Colton Wuchterl continued his hot streak in Lex. He knocked in one, and just like that, it's down to a 3-point deficit as the Chargers going back to their bench. Britton Clark, 6'2 senior, is in. Clark averaging 3 points on the campaign. So J-Town into front court.
J-Town goes a little smaller, but their two main scorers still out there.
McDaniels far sideline, inside the lane, slam dunk!
And just as we mentioned, McDaniels going off.
Well, and he's going to commit a foul coming up the floor as well, as McDaniels, after the dunk, commits a foul, and that's going to put South Oldham, I believe, at the foul line. That's only their fourth. One scoreboard here says 5, one says 4. It's only the fourth foul for J-Town. Oh, it's a technical, Gary. It's a technical. It's not just a foul, it's a technical.
Well, once again, after the made bucket, a little extracurricular by McDaniels, for a lack of a term, maybe being a little too chatty and demonstrative. So this is going to cost them points.
So Jake Fithian, South Oldham's 76% free throw shooter, will head to the line for two with 33.6 left in the quarter. And Fithian off the mark. So South an early 1 out of 4 from the foul line.
South, one of the top 7 free throw shooting teams in the state, can't leave points off the rim.
Fithian able to steer that one in for his first point. So now South will have possession after the McDaniels technical.
Well, what was an almost double-figure lead for J-Town now has been shortened to 4 points.
Yeah, it sure was. It was up to 9 at one point as Drew Campbell will handle in the half court. There's Wuckturl in the corner up top, Fithian. Brooks B, left wing three. That's long, and he knew it right away, but Wuckturl tapped it alive. And now Fithian finds Miles for a three. That's long as well. And how about Brooks B coming back to get that rebound? Campbell baseline, 15-footer, no, well short. Out of bounds to South, and they are very fortuitous to keep it with 8.9 on the timer.
Well, South right now already 4 shots on this possession. And once again, the value of even when you miss threes, long rebounds.
Fithian to inbound Wuckturl, a three, and he's got it again.
Well, there's what happens. All of a sudden, 3 straight threes.
There's a long three, going to be short, partially blocked as Demir Clark's shot comes up short, and that's going to take us to the second quarter. South once trailed by 9. It's now 16-15 J-Town. Second quarter coming up from Glycon.
For dependable, friendly heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing service, it's Kinzer & Kinzer at 200 East Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Locally owned and operated since 1983. Call 502-222-0497.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate and scheduled repairs. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency roadside assistance and much more. Located at 409 West Jefferson Street, or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycon.
16-15 as we welcome you back for start of quarter 2, J-Town by 1. And Gary, that technical by McDaniels has changed the complexion of things.
And it does from time to time, and there's a great example why right there. Let your play do your talking, not your mouth. And as a result, what was a 9-point J-Town lead, now South's right back in it. A little more confidence. They've gotten some long rebounds, knocked down some threes, and this all started with the technical foul.
Colton Wuckturl has made 2 threes coming off the bench. Brooks B has chipped in a 3, so the Dragons 3 quick threes really in a span of a couple of minutes.
Very much so, and never for one of lacking at their three-point ability. South missed their first 4. That might diminish some other teams, but not South Oldham. They just say, okay, get another rebound. If we're open, we're going to shoot it.
We'll be Dragon basketball to start this second quarter, and don't see Cameron McDaniels out there to start, so he's going to stay on the pine a little bit longer, and it's going to be Dragon possession left to right. Colton Wuckturl will trigger it in.
Well, I just think a very good move by Coach Duncan. Let him sit down a minute or two and understand, hey, your playing time is valuable. Don't do some knucklehead things that gets the other team going again.
Wuckturl, a high right 3. Yes!
We're going to start calling him super sub.
That one didn't even hit the rim. Colton's got 9 quick points, and South, their first lead with 7:34 and a half.
In the last minute of the first quarter, and the first minute of the second, they've knocked down 4 threes, so they come in bushel baskets.
Clark tried to feed the post. Great defense by Campbell. Wuckturl, snowbirds. Wuckturl puts it up and in.
Well, give Wuckturl credit. He's come in feeling good.
Colton with 11 and South by 4 now with 7 minutes in the half. And another turnover as Miles outlet. There's Jake Fithian running the floor, and Fithian is long. Wuchterl gets the rebound. Back out to Fithian. Up top, Miles, a 3 in transition. In and out. And the rebound collected by J-Town's Demir Clark. Here comes Clark applying the break. A tepid pass over to Conplay. Conplay arcs it underneath. And a charge. Wonderful defense underneath there by Drew Campbell to draw the Charger personal.
Well, another one of those Dragon super subs coming in off the bench. Campbell takes a big defensive play and taking a charge, wiping off the bucket and getting South the ball back on possession.
Chargers going to bring in Keon Gaines for the first appearance. As Miles expecting a Brooks B screen. Now Miles top of the key. Now B catches and rolls. 8-footer is long in the lane. And Gaines vacuuming in the J-Town rebound with 6:28 in this half. There's Conplay. Comes to a pause in the lane. And there's Brooks B out with it for South. And now Drew Campbell. Campbell accelerating, driving, and he is fouled as he'll arc it off the window long. 2 free throws looming as the foul on J-Town's Keon Gaines.
Well, once again, everything starts, we don't say this very often, by the defense of South Oldham here in the last 3 minutes. It's got their offensive going. We're sputtering early.
Drew Campbell off the mark, so the Dragons again misfiring on some untimely free throws. Adrian Miles is in, Brooks B shuttles out, and it was B's 3 really that got the ball rolling down the hill for South.
Well, now we've got the third member of the if you need some gas, call on your bench, as the sophomore Miles into the game. So now they're looking to go a little bit different. 1-3-1.
Second free throw goes in. Up this way, Davion Harrison will catch it near baseline, and he is fouled. I believe that's going to be a common foul. So J-Town out of bounds underneath. Davion Glenn back in, but still no Cameron McDaniel sighting. And the Chargers underneath. Lob to Gaines. Up top, Conplay, all 6th region.
Well, I think for Coach Duncan, this is called lesson to be learned.
Clark fade away from the elbow, left that long. Jake Fithian with a rebound over to Julian Miles with 5:50 in the half. Miles splitting the defenders, but he lost the basketball, stolen away, and Wuchterl able to pluck it back. Miles in the corner. Julian skip pass to Jake Fithian. Fithian with a head fake, puts it in. As Jake strolled right to the basket for the layup.
1-3-1 on the half. Another turnover.
Fithian intercepting that pass. Left hand layup is in. And a J-Town timeout. Jake Fithian with 4 straight. 5:21 first half. South leading 25-16. We'll be back right after this on Glycod.
Supporters of Oldham County High School's athletics. Robin Lawson and Financial Solutions Incorporated have been recognized over a dozen times as Oldham County's best financial planner. Robin and his team provide individuals and small businesses the tools needed to achieve their financial goals, because they care not just about the result, but also the process. Visit their office in LaGrange at 309 West Jefferson Street, or learn more online at oldhamfinancial.com. Financial Solutions Incorporated. Clarity for your financial future.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
South Oldham leading now 25-16 with 5:20 remaining in this first half. Jake Fithian, a quick basket off of a turnover as the Chargers will possess the ball. There's Clark in the corner for a Harrison 3, leaves that short, and Campbell snuffs out the South rebound, and a bucket here would give them a double-figure lead after trailing by 9 in the first quarter. And indecision there as Julian Miles tried to find Colton Wuchterl cutting the ball, thrown behind him, and it's off the baseline out of bounds.
Yeah, Miles, just not a good pass. no pressure on him. He just thought his man would be a little further out, and Wuchterl with a tight curl.
And the Chargers across the timeline. There is Conplay, skip pass, high left, Davion Harrison, pull up from the elbow, short. And a foul on the Chargers. That was wonderful position there by Drew Campbell on that rebound attempt.
Campbell did a great job. When the ball was shot, he got in front of the offensive player, and the man reached over. So have things changed in the last 3 minutes of play.
Julian Miles into forecourt. Inches it to Wuchterl off a curl. Nailed another three!
Well, we talked about the subs and Wuchterl being, high on that list, and he single-handedly has helped bring the Dragons back from about a 7-point deficit.
There's
to
a three
lead.
long from Conplay as J-Town attacks the backboard. Now Conplay near wing. And a foul on South Oldham's Drew Campbell. You foul on the near sideline as the Dragons pick up their second foul of this second quarter. Colton Wuchterl now game high 14 points off the bench, and what a difference he's made.
Very much so. When they were down, the Wuchterl comes in and gives them a big offensive burst.
There's Demir Clark inching it in the far baseline to Harrison, and another turnover. Julian Miles just able to intercept that thread of the needle. This Miles inches to Wuchterl, high right three. Yes! Colton's got 5 threes as J-Town out of sorts here. Pass at the foul line. Harrison leaves that short, and the Chargers on the backboard. Here's Prince Conplay, left-hand layup is in, and that's going to end a lengthy Chargers drought. 3:23 in the half. There's Julian Miles up top to Fithian. Wuchterl near wing. Extra pass in the corner to Miles. Now Fithian up top. Julian Miles flings one short from the three-point shot, and over the top foul on South Oldham's 22, and that's Adrian Miles. Cameron McDaniels, he had a lengthy stint. Boy, how have things changed since he last entered the game, as he's going to check in with his team down 13 points.
Well, let's see if there's lesson to be learned from McDaniels. We'll find out here over the next couple of minutes.
There's Demir Clark weaving his way into front court. Back to McDaniels. McDaniels, crafty bounce pass up top to Clark. Clark with a head and shoulder fake, and Adrian Miles called for another foul. Or was he? No, it's going to be on Colton Wuchterl. So the Dragons pick up their fourth foul. That will take us to a media break. 2:56 first half. South Oldham 31, Jeffersontown 18. Chargers basketball side court when we come back on Glycod. Tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project. See the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware at 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
South Oldham, Gary, just received information. They went on a 20-0 stretch to open up this lead now to 13 points.
Well, it all starts on the big offensive play, a bucket, a dunk, I might add. Everything's going well, and a little chitter-chatter, and it all started downhill from there. As you mentioned, a 20-zip run by South, who hadn't made a three up until that time, and now I have them for 6 out of 7 here in this second quarter.
Colton Wuchterl has 5 of those 6 made threes, 17 points coming off the South Oldham bench. Wow.
Well, that's a great positive match for South Oldham when their kids come in with the belief that, hey, we can get right back in this thing, and they've done that and more.
So J-Town possession at side court. This Charger team, they've won 8 straight games since a late season loss to South Laurel. And, of course, South Oldham, they've won 4 straight. Dragons, one of 2 district runners-up appearing in this year's Sweet 16. Lawrence County, the other. As Davion Harrison will inbound underneath for J-Town. Long pass, and fielding it back three-quarter court was McDaniels. Up across the mountaintop, Davion Glenn. Past foul line, Demir Clark. In the corner, Harrison triggers a 3. That's short and 50 and backside for the South rebound. Julian Miles pacing it over to Wuchterl near wing. Defense promptly closes out on him. There's Miles with a head fake. Miles inside the lane. Lost it on the way up and a steal. Here's Cameron McDaniels into front court. Great pass underneath as the ball's caught by Clark and put in. It's Demir Clark. Credit Cameron McDaniels with the assist. 2:18 left first half now. There's Wuchterl in the corner. 50 in high arcing 3 short. Rebound snared by Clark as J-Town tries to muster something to close this half. 2 minutes now in the second quarter. There's McDaniels weaving his way in. Conplay a left wing 3. That's long. Rebound chased down by Glenn, and he lost it as he tried to find the big underneath. And it's ricocheted out of bounds off of Demir Clark. It will be South Oldham basketball at side court.
Coach Simpson talking to his team on this dead ball out of bounds about showing some patience, reverse the ball. I thought they'd been a little quick, and quick again.
There's Julian Miles, a deep 3, and that one's off the mark. Here comes Cameron McDaniels for J-Town. Near sideline, Demir Clark. Back out to McDaniels. McDaniels will pause at the near elbow. Now Clark hoists to 3. That's well short, and Wuchterl tapped it, but he tapped it right to Harrison, and Harrison on the close could not put it in. And Adrian Miles lassos the loose ball for South Oldham. Here comes Miles, peering over his right-hand shoulder to get the play call from the 25th year head coach Steve Simpson. 1:11 left. 50 and back to Miles. Dead on 3 up top. Nope. Adrian Miles got the rebound, and he is bumped. And the Chargers will have their 4th foul of this second quarter. Julian's getting the looks up top, Gary, just all over the rim, but not going down.
Very much so. And maybe a little bit still quick on the trigger.
Oh, turnover as 50 and tried to thread the needle to Adrian Miles. McDaniels with a theft, layup, and a foul as well back at the other end. That is a big sequence as J-Town with an and one opportunity after a South Oldham foul.
South been a little quick on the last couple of shots, and as a result, it's led to J-Town getting the ball out and easy shots at the other end.
The deficit now at 9 for the Chargers with 59 and change in the half. That free throw goes down for Demir Clark. Clark now with 5 points as Drew Campbell will shuttle out. Brooks B back in for South. And the Dragons protect an 8-point lead.
J-Town 2-2-1 on the half, trying to speed up play.
Here comes Brooks B as B pauses in the corner. There's Adrian Miles. Rifles it across. Great movement to Wuchterl. Wuchterl attacking over to Miles. Extra pass B in the corner.
Much better ball movement by South. Don't have it, reverse it. They'll get a good open shot. Show some patience.
There's Julian Miles up top. High arcing 3. Short again. And J-Town with a rebound, and they're inching their way back in this game as McDaniels fields an errant pass. Around up top, Demir Clark. Clark inside the lane, lays it up and in.
Well, the quick shots are getting South in trouble on the offensive end, and it's allowed J-Town to get themselves back to 6 points here in the second quarter.
With 7 seconds left in the half now, Miles up top at 4 seconds. Left wing to Adrian Miles at 2. 50th. Wuchterl does not get it off in time. And a disappointing conclusion to the end of a stellar start of the second quarter. But South Oldham leading 31-25, and Steve Simpson not at all happy with his team, Gary.
No, I didn't think they approached the last 3 minutes very well and allowed J-Town to get going again, if you will.
Yeah, Coach giving Scott Thompson, the KHSAA reporter, an earful. He is very upset with his team. South Oldham by 6 at half, 31-25. We'll step aside. More coverage coming up from Lexington. It's the 2025 Sweet 16 live on Glycod.
When you bundle home and auto, life can be easier. You choose coverage that makes sense for you, at a price that's right for you, and a local State Farm agent who's there for you.
Call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Oldham County today.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German-American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German-American Bank, building our community together.
The one way a good person goes to prison is to hurt or kill someone while driving drunk. Why would you throw your life away? John and I are asking you, please don't drink and drive.
Looking to ease the stress of running a business? Then count on the accountants at Kelly King & Company. They offer a wide array of services, including taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping, while providing deep analysis and strategic guidance to help you make sound, smart business decisions. Contact Troy in Crestwood at 502-241-5656 or visit them online at kingcpa.net. Kelly King & Company, proudly serving and supporting Oldham County for generations and a dedicated partner to small business.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer, Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and our newest location at 1675 Waterson Trail in Louisville.
Are you a parent battling with raising your child in today's fallen world? You're not alone. The Operation Parent Handbook is your beacon of hope with info and guidance on social media, vaping, anxiety, and more. It's a resource that equips you with the guidance and conversation starters you need in your parenting journey. Use discount code KIDS at checkout to get 10% off any handbook. Visit operationparent.org to reclaim your confidence as a parent. Operation Parent, you've got this. Trying to be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Oldham County Solid Waste Management. Find out how to recycle or dispose of any item with Waste Wizard at oldhamcountyky.gov under Solid Waste Management.
Welcome back to Rupp Arena at Central Bank Center. It's halftime. South Oldham leading J-Town 31-25. Chargers, Gary, closing that second quarter on a 9-0 blitz.
Yeah, very much so. South got themselves out of the hole, built the lead, only to the last 2 minutes of the half take maybe some quick shots that I think Coach Simpson will address during the halftime. But, from what early it looked like they couldn't get things going, they hit that streak of threes, which allowed them to build that lead in the second quarter, where they've got a 31-25 halftime lead.
And certainly for South Oldham, Colton Wuchterl just played a splendid game, 17 points, including 5 made threes. And, heck, he's continuing his great run at the state tournament.
Well, we talked about those 3 guys that coming off the bench, and Wuchterl being one of them, that helped them go from down to up 6 here at halftime.
What do you look for in terms of the second half focal point? And we'll get to the stats here in a minute, but certainly I think for South Oldham, they got to rebound the ball better.
They do, even though misleading. I have them rebound-wise 10 each. And, a lot of those rebounds they got led to them getting second chance threes. And early, no made threes in the first quarter to the made of, I've got up for 6 made threes in the second quarter. We talked about how they can be explosive, and yes, they were.
We will get to the halftime numbers in just a moment. Halftime, South Oldham on top over J-Town 31-25 from Glycod.
Be a responsible citizen and the best recycler you can be, but you just aren't sure what goes where? Google Oldham County Waste Wizard and check out the Wizard search engine. Just type in the name of your mystery item and see what pops up. It will tell you whether it goes in the trash, recycle bin, or donations. It tells you how to discard troublesome items like paint and televisions. Can you believe it even tells you how to get rid of a boat? Oldham County Waste Wizard, do you believe in magic?
This message funded by Oldham County Solid Waste Management.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in, like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right, Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
When you need protection and peace of mind with superior service, contact Jay Hall at Insurance Associates in LaGrange. Choose from their range of policies that cover what you value most, including dozens of top-name insurance companies like Westfield. For more information and a free no-obligation quote, call 502-222-9558. Insurance Associates at 204 West Jefferson Street in LaGrange. Insurance for all areas of your life. Proud supporters of Oldham County High School's athletics. Robin Lawson and Financial Solutions Incorporated have been recognized over a dozen times as Oldham County's best financial planner. Robin and his team provide individuals and small businesses the tools needed to achieve their financial goals, because they care not just about the result, but also the process. Visit their office in LaGrange at 309 West Jefferson Street, or learn more online at oldhamfinancial.com. Financial Solutions Incorporated. Clarity for your financial future.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
You're watching Oldham High School's basketball from Glycod.
Today's halftime stats are presented by German American Bank. Support your community school with a German American School Spirit check card. Visit GermanAmerican.com for more information. These the official numbers per KHSAA. Again, South Oldham 6 of 19, but also 4 missed free throws, and we talked about that, how that could be very important later on today.
Yeah, for a team that shoots in the top 5 or 6 in the state on free throws, they left some points on the board here, particularly in the second quarter when they hit a barrage of threes, and that forced J-Town to come out on them. And when you usually come out on people, you foul, and they did. But they missed some free throws.
J-Town, as you see, the rebounding edge, but 8 of those are offensive rebounds.
Yeah, very much so. And we saw that in the last 2 minutes of the second quarter. Things were going well. South had built the lead, and J-Town came right back at them right toward the end of the second quarter.
Take a look at your leading scorers. J-Town is Prince Conplay with 9. Also, Demir Clark has 9. Cameron McDaniels only played 10 minutes in the first half. He has 7 points. And for South Oldham, it's Colton Wuchterl with 17. Julian Miles, 5 points, but he's attempted 10 field goals. Julian, 2 of 10 from the floor. Jake Fithian cool off as well in this first half. 5 points on 2 of 6 from the floor. For South Oldham, they've had good looks, Gary, just haven't been able to knock as many in as they did the other night.
Very much so. As we talked about the start to game, I thought that J-Town did a good job early crowding out on South, forcing them to drive to the basket. So they didn't get good looks at threes, and as a result, they made no threes. I have them for in the first quarter, yet when they started to make shots, it opened up things for them, and then they hit the barrage of threes that they hit. So with the exception of the last 2 minutes of the first half, I thought South played awfully well and shot it well.
Just noticing this on this stat sheet, there's a plus-minus column, and it factors in a variety of assists, steals, rebounds. Drew Campbell jumps off the page, 17 plus-minus. You've got Colton Wuchterl with 11. And, look at Campbell's line, 9 minutes. He's got 2 steals, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. I mean, he's doing a little bit of everything.
It's those guys off the bench that gave them positive minutes. And they've got to keep playing that way when the guys that start maybe hit that lull. South's able to go to the bench because Coach Simpson some confidence in those guys.
Second half is next. South Oldham 31, Jeffersontown 25. The winner will get Bowling Green tomorrow morning in semifinal number 1, that at 11 a.m. More coverage from Lexington in just a minute.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German-American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German-American Bank, building our community together.
From tools and equipment to tips on finishing your project, see the helpful folks at Crestwood Hardware, your locally owned Ace Hardware store. Built on more than a century of service, Crestwood Hardware offers Oldham County's best and most convenient selection of products for your home, farm, or garden. Visit Crestwood Hardware at 6536 West Highway 22, phone 502-241-8491. And for rewards when you shop, download the Ace Hardware app.
If a drunk driver hurts or kills someone, the bar or restaurant that overserved that person is jointly responsible. I'm attorney John D. Camillus, and Rob and I hold restaurants and bars accountable. Let me speak directly to bar managers and bartenders. Be a frontline hero. Have the courage to cut someone off. If you've been in an accident with a drunk driver, call us. Our reputation is our trademark.
LaGrange Service Center is a professional automotive service center that aims to provide the highest level of customer satisfaction. Their team is dedicated to performing honest and ethical work. Their experienced technicians make affordably priced immediate assistance and much more on street. Or call 502-222-1673. LaGrange Service Center.
Only your locally owned